welcome to Cricket Predicta powered by 1xBet and Vomiki Infrastructure's Delhi NCR. The third test match between India and England at Lord's was a nail-biting thriller match where Team India fell short just by 22 runs. Well, this close defeat indeed raised a very critical question. Who is that one player in Team India who can hold the team together? Well, the answer is very obvious, but the name is not in the squad. Virat Kohli. For nearly a decade, Virat Kohli was the backbone of Team India. Though now retired from the longest format, his match sense, his ability to read situations, and his energy on the field are still missed by the fans. In this context, 1983 World Cup winner Mr. Madan Lal, and he's also a former cricketer, he made a strong statement on our show, Cricket Predicta. He said that Kohli is needed in the team, not just as a batsman, but also as a mentor to this young team. In this series, India lost 36 wickets. Well, England also lost 35 wickets, which is almost an even contest. Yet, the result tilted in England's favour. That reflects their superior planning and mindset. And perhaps that's exactly where the absence of a leader like Kohli was felt. Kohli has played 123 tests, scoring 9,230 runs at an average of 46.85 with 30 centuries and 7 double centuries. Since 2013, after Sachin's retirement, India has chased targets of 150 plus only twice successfully in tests, once in Brisbane and the other in Ranchi. In this series, while Shubman Gill, Pant, KL Rahul and even Jadeja scored runs, and on the other side, Siraj, Bumrah, Akashdeep took wickets. When it came to turning the match decisively in India's favour, they fell slightly short. And that's where the conversation around Kohli's return became relevant, whether with the bat or simply with his experience. Well, to discuss these points, we have three special guests on our show today. Please welcome with me the first guest, John Yumbu, who is a former Zimbabwean cricketer. John, my first question to you would be, India has won only 2 test matches in the last decade while chasing targets over 150. Does this indicate that our team still struggles to handle pressure in the 4th innings?
It's an interesting stat you bring up there because I would like to think that this is a new generation, different crop from the one that played 10 or so years ago, and I would like to think they would like to write their own book in terms of how they perform, in terms of how they go about things, in terms of how they tackle stats like this. And I know they haven't started off on a good note, because here it goes again where they failed to chase 190 odd, so which means that it's there and thereabout. But also remembering the stat at Lord's that says on the 4th innings the average score being chased is 159. So with 3 wickets down going into the last day, already the odds were against them, and I think they battled well to get to where they ended up getting 20 odd runs short of that target. So I think those stats, yes, they could be relevant, but I don't think would like to use them against this current crop, because they are starting afresh, they are doing their own thing, they're playing entertaining cricket, they've managed to win a test match at a ground where the English have been deemed to be formidable and a good hunting ground. So I think they should let them write their own book and not burden them with all the stats.
In this series, India's top 3 wicket takers, Siraj, Bumrah and Akashdeep, are all pacers. Does this mean India's pace attack is now becoming the best in this world?
I think these two guys complement the whole Indian bowling attack. I mean, like we just finished talking about how the 3 fast bowlers have been successful so far in this series. It applies to the other two, because as a bowling unit, you need each and everyone to be a leader of their own bowling. And I think these two have got the personalities to do so, and they've got the skill to do so. And as long as the batters set everything up for them to execute their skills. I think they'll be able to get wickets for the Indians and try and set up this test with this test series win. It's going to be difficult now that they're trailing 2-1 with 2 games to go. So for them to win, they have to make sure that they win the next 2 test matches. So it's important that them as a bowling group are able to merge, are able to be in sync, are able to execute their skills well in accordance to the situation that each and every test match, each and every session brings. And I think they do have what it takes, but I think it's a team thing where the batters have to set it up for the bowlers to go for the kill. But yeah, it's looking good for the Indians. But the question is, how are they going to adapt to the way the English are playing their brand of cricket right now? Because we saw in the last test that they didn't go best bowling, but then they tried to play careful cricket. They tried to get wickets in there. They tried to also set it up for their bowlers. So I think with respect to those two and the whole Indian bowling attack, it remains that are the batters going to be able to set it up for them to try and go for the kill and win the series?
Shubman Gill has already scored 607 runs in this series. Can he now be considered the next pillar of India's test batting lineup?
Shubman Gill is coming from the fact that he's now the captain, and captaincy and the talent that he's got, the talent that we knew he had, is just merged into one player that is able to take control of the game. We've seen in the test matches that he scored runs in, even though he didn't score as many runs as he would have wanted in this test. He's still on 600 runs, and that's 600 runs in 3 tests. That is very, very commendable. And then it comes with the pressure of being captain, comes with the pressure of being able to take the responsibility of everyone on his shoulders so that the team benefits, and he's taking that well and is able to be calm in everything that he does. We spoke about how calm he is, about how unfazed he is, about how he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but then in doing that, he still executes his skill well, batting wise, he still leads well, and at the moment we can see what a type of a player he's turning out into be, and also being his first tour in England. We know how difficult it is for them to play in the UK, but he's taken that on board and has managed to grind up some results as well. So I think he will be in time, but as he's maturing and he's finding himself more and more and more, he'll become a little bit better and he'll score more runs. So yes, I definitely think he's the next pillar of strength for the Indian batting lineup.
Jasprit Bumrah and Akash Deep had strike rates of 43.33 and 39.36 respectively. Do you believe this duo has what it takes to lead India to a historic test series win in England?
With these 3 fast bowlers is that they execute and attack in their different ways. I mean, you've got Jasprit, who will attack and be aggressive skill-wise, pace-wise, and accuracy-wise. You'll have Siraj, who will be all up in the batter's face. He's aggressive with his lengths. He hits good areas. He bowls some bumpers, and he's like he wants to pick a fight to get the best out of himself. And then you've got Akashdeep, who just, where people think is the weakest link out of the 3, the way he hits those areas, the way he's so consistent, the way he gets that nice bounce, and the way he executes his skill as well is very good. But a good thing that has helped these 3 fast bowlers is that those wickets that they've played on have been similar to what they have back home. I mean, we had Ben Stokes in the previous test saying that there's the Edgbaston wickets like. So to them, they are away from home, but they get conditions that are a bit on the flat side of things that they've been accustomed to playing on all their lives. So that's why they've been very effective in this test series, but also the IPL. The IPL also brings another dimension to things where they are able to play under immense pressure. They are able to play under batters looking to get at them the way the best bowlers are doing it. So to them, it's the pressure that they are used to, and it's the execution that they always do back home Ranji Trophy, those flat wickets, IPL, the flat wickets, and now here in the UK, where it has been the hottest summer in a while, and the pitches are dry, the pitches are hard, the pitches are flat. So it's like they're finding themselves in the subcontinent, but still in England, and it's actually working on their benefit.
Well, thank you for your wonderful insights, John. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Paul Dennett, who is a senior cricket journalist from Australia. Paul, my first question to you would be, Ravindra Jadeja has performed well with bat in this series rather than his ball. So, can we consider him more as a batting all-rounder right now?
Well, I wouldn't write him off with the ball just yet. Look, he was disappointing in the final innings of the first test. I think that those conditions, a lot of us thought that Jadeja might bowl India to victory. He probably took a little bit too long to really get it into the rough. I just think his style of bowling, it's so simple and so repeatable that I think he should be able to bowl very effectively, into his 40s, a bit like Brad Hogg used to be. His batting is always pretty decent. It's been excellent this series. You've probably heard me say it before. I used to say that Jadeja was the best test cricketer India has ever produced. I'd probably now give that honour to Bumrah, maybe Tendulkar at number 3. So I think the world of Jadeja. I'm really happy to see him batting well, and I'm not writing him off as a bowler just yet.
India and England lost almost the same number of wickets in this series. India lost 36 while England lost 35. Yet India lost one of the 2 tests. Does this highlight England's superior situational planning and execution?
Yeah, I'm sure that would be one of the most frustrating things for India at the moment. They are down 2-1. They've played every bit as well as England in the series, if not marginally better. And you don't have to close your eyes and squint too much to imagine how the scoreline could in fact be 3-0 to India. That first test match, 2 tail collapses ultimately cost them. And then in this final game, any match that's won by such a small margin of runs could easily have gone in a different direction. I think India will again, this time maybe their top order in the second innings when the game was there to be won. There was just a few crucial wickets that England took. Not to take anything away from England. England would say, well, wait a minute, you could make arguments in the other direction as well. So I think all in all, it's been a very close series. India would feel disappointed to be down 2-1. And it's going to be tough for them now, but the opportunity is still ahead for them to go back and win at 3-2.
Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul scored runs in the middle order. But were those runs match-winning or just contributions that flattered the scorecard?
Oh, I certainly don't think they were just innings that looked good on the scoreboard that didn't really contribute. Far from it. I mean, Pant, especially batting with that injury, showed great bravery. And KL Rahul at the top of the order getting runs, it's never easy. I mean, the sort of innings where maybe you question the value is more when a side is batting on the 5th day when the game is petering out to a draw or the opposition's bowling a few part-timers and some relatively easy runs are accrued. But that in itself is in the minority. I think that very few test runs are scored easily, and I certainly don't think that Pant and Rahul have been scoring easy runs in this series. I think they've both played some very significant innings throughout.
4 of the top 5 run scorers in this series are Indians. Does this indicate that while some batters scored individually, the lack of collective contributions is still hurting Team India?
Well, I think it highlights a couple of things. Firstly, that I think that India's top order has outbatted that of England, and that Shubman Gill didn't succeed in this test match, but he's still averaging over 100 for the series. Jadeja, not in the top order, but he's certainly batted fantastically well. KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant as well. Compare that to England, Jamie Smith has been superb, and then there have been definitely decent contributions from some of the others, but I think overall, from the powerhouse of the batting unit, India is on top. But then, we've spoken about it in previous days, that the lower order for India, especially 9, 10 and 11, are just more vulnerable than that of England. And in England throughout the series with players like Kaas and Tongue, and then Wokes, I know that's at number 8, but that they really have players who can bat properly, and when they score runs, it's not a surprise. I think, as I said before, India in this match, that Bumrah and Siraj show that they are capable of hanging around. And I think that there needs to be more of that. But I think it is something that Indian cricket needs to work on in the coming years. That their lower order batting, especially if I compare it to the other big two of Australia and England, historically in recent times, I've always felt that India's has been slightly inferior, and I think that's something for them to work on.
Well, thank you, Paul, for joining us, and thank you for your wonderful insights. Now, I would like to invite senior sports journalist, Mr. Taz Rizvi. Welcome to the show, sir. My first question to you would be, India's last 3 wickets added 88 runs of 303 balls in the third test versus England at Lord's. How significant was the resistance from India's tail, considering this partnership consumed over 50 overs? What does it say about England's ability to finish off the innings after 7 wickets?
I think more than England's inability to get the tail-enders out, it was more about India's strong batting resistance. The struggle showed by the tail-enders, especially, of course, Jadeja was very, very significant in that innings, in that particular chase. And if he wasn't around, I mean, India wouldn't have been fighting so deep. But then credit goes to Bumrah, the way he played. He was that dogged approach by Bumrah and Siraj. And till the end, Siraj showed that resistance. So in the end, I mean, at the end of the day, it's something more about approach, more about the intent that these guys showed. I mean, we keep talking about the intent, about the top order batsmen, the aggression that they show, the attacking mindset that they play with, the positive approach that they have. We talk about that when it comes to intent, but this is also some kind of intent, that not giving away the wickets easily, being there, applying themselves when the other top orders batters was struggling, shows about the confidence and the belief that the tail has. I mean, yeah, in the past they haven't showed much of that but again, this match showed us exactly what the Indian batsmen can do, especially the tail. They can, with that dogged approach, they can definitely save a match, draw a match, and also can help you win this particular from any difficult situation. Some way or the other, England bowlers tried their best. I mean, even the wicket that they got of Mohammad Siraj was pure luck. It wasn't a great delivery from Shoaib Bashir. Yeah, but it made a lot of difference when Ben Stokes bowled his heart out, consecutive 11 overs. Then you had Jofra Archer, who was steaming in, bowling 140 clocks. I mean, that was outstanding. I mean, their approach was very, very attacking. They were attacking the stumps. They knew if they keep on bowling in the right areas, they will get the wickets, because the wicket was only getting tougher till the 5th day. So some way or the other, I think more than England's bowling, I think I'm happy with the approach that the Indian batters showed, the heart that the Indian batters showed. So I think England should fear this fact that this Indian team hasn't given up. I mean, it will bounce back in the 4th test match, or maybe the 5th test match. We may lose this game, but then we have the Indian team has won hearts. The tail enders, especially, obviously the batters, the top order batters, did well in the first 3 games, first 2 games, but unfortunately they couldn't deliver in the third one. But then that's how cricket is. Unpredictability is one of the key aspects of this particular game. So some way or the other, I think nobody should lose heart, especially the Indian fans, and England should be wary of this particular Indian team. Without Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they have been impactful. They have been made some major developments when it comes to in a very short period of time. So some way or the other, I think they will take a lot of positives from the last test match.
Well, my last question to wrap up this show to you would be, despite losing almost the same number of wickets, India ultimately lost this test. Does this indicate England's superior match awareness and clutch play in key moments?
Of course, England has been lucky when it comes to the toss. I mean, they have in the last 2 test matches, in fact, in the last 3 test matches, they have won the toss. But again, obviously, England is playing at home. They know the conditions. They know what kind of situation they would go in. But if you look at this particular test match, and they started with baseball cricket kind of game in the first 2 test matches. But if you saw in the second test match, the approach in the first innings was completely opposite to what they usually play. I mean, the kind of entertaining cricket that they play, the baseball cricket, that was not the approach, that was not the game, the strategy that they came up with. But till the second innings of their batting, they were completely different, because they knew the only chance that they have is to bat on the fourth day, give India a solid, a respectable, a challenging target. At fifth day, it's very, very difficult to bat, chase down. In fact, 150 plus total. Somewhere or the other, England knew Ben Stokes being an aggressive captain. I mean, don't forget, they had lost a series to India last year in India. I mean, without Rohit, without Virat Kohli, without a KL Rahul, with Sarfaraz Khan and other youngsters, India won that series. So yeah, Ben Stokes did not give it up. He put up a fight in the last year in India. But again, he's got the experience. This guy, Ben Stokes, is a special player. He's a rare all-rounder that we have been vouching for. We have been wanting for a long time. But again, Ben Stokes comes up with a beautiful experience of in batting as well as bowling. Yeah, batting, he's been found wanting. He's been struggling against Jasprit Bumrah, but the way he bowled the other day, the way he attacked the stumps, and the strategy of bringing Jofra Archer, in this particular test match, in the third test match, showed that this team wants to win. Earlier, the perception was this will be our warm-up match. He said in one of the press conferences, this will be warm-up series to the Ashes. But the mindset has changed, because they know that this team is something you cannot walk over, this Indian team. So Ben Stokes applied all his experience, all his strategies in this particular test match, obviously with support of Joe Root in the first innings. The kind of cricket that they played showed that this team can be dangerous, whether with baseball cricket approach or with a block ball cricket approach, as well as attacking the stump. So they may not have a classy spinner like a Moeen Ali or Shoaib Bashir is still pedestrian, but the way they approach the game with limitations shows that this team is mentally tough, can give challenge to Team India, and has the ability to win the series. But then the advantage is they have the experience of playing at home, and of course, playing at home is one of the biggest advantages for any team right now, whether it's India, England, Australia, New Zealand. So yeah, strategy wise, England will be way ahead, but this Indian team knows how to crack those codes, crack those secrets. Somewhere or the other, I think it's going to be an interesting series as we go ahead.
Well, thank you for your wonderful insights, sir, and thank you to all the three guests for joining us at Cricket Predicta. This is me, Prachi Khandelwal, signing off.